Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
The TOR-TORENTCO deal. You raised that issue. Okay. Now, two executives of the General Transport Petroleum Chemical Workers Union, GTPCWU, you know that union, have been interdicted. GTPCWU, General Transport Petroleum Chemical Workers Union. They've been interdicted over the controversial deal between Temoyo Refinery and TORENTCO. The action, which was taken by the TOR Board of Directors, takes immediate effect. And one of the interdicted persons, Anthony Jojo Kumsin, who is the chairman of the Petroleum Union Senior Staff Association, confirmed this on Adom FM's morning show, Jason Sem, yesterday. Mr. Kumsin said they have been interdicted for disclosing vital information on the TOR-TORENTCO deal at a press conference. The board argued that they breached the non-disclosure agreement they undertook, not to disclose the details of the draft TOR-TORENTCO lease and O&M agreement, citing Article 43.4 VII of the Collective Bargaining Agreement CBA between TOR and GTPCWU. But Mr. Kumsin contends that the board acted in bad faith because his action was in accordance with the Whistleblower Act. Quote, "We alerted management about the shortfalls in the deal, and they told us they can't respond to the issues because the board is solely in charge. We wrote to the board, and to date they haven't responded to us, so we just had to do the needful by making the issue public." Mr. Kumsin warned the board should not for any reason think the interdiction will gag him. Quote, "This is the biggest mistake by the board because it will not end here. The mandate of the board is not to micromanage management. It is management who is to take disciplinary action, but this clearly shows the incompetence of the board and the fact that they do not understand their job." He urged that. Meanwhile, GTPCWU has threatened an industrial action over the interdiction and the deal.
Yes, so we're talking of Jojo Kumsin.
Yes, you know him
very well. Okay. Very well. Let me just state this in unequivocal terms that we're going to fight this.
We're going to fight the
TOR obnoxious decision to interdict these guys. In fact, they deserve commendation.
But they flouted the rules.
What rule?
Okay, so they're saying that there was a non-disclosure agreement that they undertook, not to disclose the details of the draft agreement. And it's in Articles 43.4.7 VII of the CBA, the Collective Bargaining Agreement between TOR and the union.
Let me just assure you, I'm determined to pursue this matter, and I'm putting it on record. I've already sent a signal to the TOR management.
So you are aware of this?
I'm aware of it. I've seen the letters. I've seen the correspondences. I'm aware of the Attorney General's opinion. I'm aware that government has eventually agreed that the TORENTCO deal is not good. And that led to a cessation of that agreement. And so to punish these guys, I find it very, very unfortunate. And as a member of parliament and ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, I can assure you that this will not go uncontested. We would use whatever influence we have to ensure that this decision is rescinded. I don't think that is in the best interest of this country. The deal was a bad deal. You went and claimed that you even registered a company on a holiday, no value for money. In fact, if you read the Aegis report, you just throw this deal away. And so TOR had no choice than to back down on this deal that would have costed the nation so much money. And so, Randy, I assure you I'll pursue this matter. This matter will not go uncontested. The TOR management will appear before our committee. When we resume parliament, we'll use whatever legitimate constitutional means to ensure that the right thing is done. I think that it's unfortunate. I think that it's unfair. In fact, when I spoke to some of them, they weren't even given a fair hearing. And so clearly, we think that they should not stand. And you see, it's not just this. You know, the SML is also in the pipeline. And clearly, there's another one coming at ECG as well, which is Haptel. ECG management has decided to hand over the whole billing and collection system to a company without going through due process, without allowing for competitive process. this company is supposed to be taking 6% on each sale. And if you read the terms and conditions of that contract, it just beats your mind. And not just that, they are also subcontracting the whole transportation system to another company. I mean, this so-called issue of subcontracting and subletting.
Is it not to bring efficiency? Maybe they're spending too much on transportation. Maybe they don't get efficiency.
When I show you the details,
okay,
you would realize that there's no efficiency there. The cost of rental vis-a-vis the cost of procurement. We've done all the analysis. And you see, the good thing is on the minority side, we have some very good guys. Commander Donko is there, Boa is there, Bawa is there, and there, Naza and Co, Honorable Pelpo, De La Soa. You have some very, very, Montaka, very good guys there. And so we'll do all the analysis. And when we resume, we'll prove to the world that it's not worth it.
What is it about this TORENTCO deal that is not good? What is it about? What is it that is not good?
First of all, they do not have the experience.
The TORENTCO?
Yes.
Is it not an international company?
No, they do not have the experience. They do not have the financial capacity. And then the terms and conditions. This is from government itself, not from me.
The AG's opinion?
Yeah, the AG's opinion. They haven't demonstrated capacity.
Who are the members of the TOR board? Annie, find me the membership of the TOR board. Let me get me the membership of the TOR board. Yeah.
So these are the issues. And you see, like, can you assuming I'm getting like 50,000, and then I contract you, and my revenue raises from 50,000 to 52,000. That's a rise in revenue. But if I pay you a commission of 4,000, it's a loss. That's how you do the analysis. So you just don't say, oh, before the company came, our revenue was 50,000. And since they came, our revenues is increased from 50,000 to 52,000.
Especially when there's a historical perspective.
That is the point.
That shows that it increases on the basis of increased consumption.
Thank you. Increase in consumption, increase in tariff,
like
and all that.
I was going to say rubbish. like the thing that the GRA said to I mean,
that is it.
I wonder if those who drafted the thing will tell their kids in primary 6 the same thing.
You don't do that. That's not how you do investment appraisal. When you're doing appraisal, you discount certain things and account for natural growth and all those things, price increment, inflation, and all that. So we've done the analysis and we are convinced that it's not a good deal. And so when we resume, we would pursue this matter. But let me assure the TOR workers that we are with you. You served the interest of this country. You were convinced that it was not good. You raised it. It was legitimate. And government itself, at the end of the day, has come to agree with you that the deal was not a good deal. I think that punishing them is not the best, and we will pursue this matter.
I think my brother was a deputy minister, and at one point a minister of state.
No, I was not a minister of state.
Oh, you're a deputy minister. I was a deputy minister, and very capable one for that matter. And I saw his rise at that ministry, and he had command at the tail end of the government because he was virtually doing almost everything. But look, I think as a minister, it's not for nothing that you do non-disclosure agreements. It's for exclusive, and we sign and swear oath of secrecy and oath of office and all this. It's not for nothing. What they leaked out, Randy, it's not a final document. It's a draft document. I mean, government position by way of advice from the AG. All the things you are talking about has found expression in what advice the AG has professed to TOR and its board. So why the haste? And if you are celebrating this kind of attitude, that you are privileged to a draft document, and all you could do is to leak the draft document. What's the intention? I mean, you have opportunity to raise all the issues you want to raise there. But leakage, what does that tell you? I mean, we're building a nation, and we must be careful of some of these things. And you see, quickly they are running and they are hiding behind political...
the same whistleblower act.
What is whistleblower act? The person who leaked it has the document in his possession. It's by privilege. What makes you a whistleblower? That Randy, at your management here, somebody as a vital document for this organization and leaked it and say I'm a whistleblower. So what do you do to that person?
So they say that the first thing they did, Slide.
Yes.
They say the first thing they did
Was what?
They alerted management about the shortfalls in the deal. And the management told them they can't respond to the issues because the board is solely in charge. Then they wrote to the board. Till date, they have not received a response from the board.
But you see, Randy, I wonder their position in the scheme of things. Look, you could have had opportunity to receive some good alert from people. Okay? There is an ongoing consideration of a matter. And by virtue of the fact that I'm a board chairman, somebody will send you a mail or send you some vital information. It is not in your place to respond to that person. But I'm coming.
I just wanted to read the reasons for the interdiction for you so that you understand what...
I'm coming. I'm coming. Please. So I'm looking at the ethics of their action. The ethics of their action. Because what they leaked is a draft document. Because
so on the basis of what you said, let me read this from Colonel Festus Abwaji.
I'm coming.
No, on the basis of what you said, and then you can. It says, on the question of the non-disclosure agreement, we must realize that it isn't a matter between private persons. In a democracy, all agreements entered into on behalf of the state must be publicly promulgated.
But you see,
do you disagree?
I think, especially when the matter under consideration is not conclusive.
Okay.
It's not. And TOR, its board and management, owe it as to this country once the final determination has been made to even publish it. And anybody, I'm not sure if you write to TOR for document under consideration, even under the RTI, they will consider giving you the information. No, it's still under consideration.
As we speak today, as we speak, at least as at last week, Manasseh Azuri Awuni has disclosed that the Ministry of Finance has refused for the second time in about 5 months to furnish him with a copy of the SML contract.
I'm talking about a different matter.
No, I'm just saying.
State agency. They must give reasons. As I sit, where I sit, the Ministry of Finance
invoking RTI.
Yeah, invoking RTI. Yeah. They have no right.
It's not been given.
And if they refuse to give them the documents, there are processes they take them through, and
they will find them. When they find the people who sit there will not pay from their pocket.
Yeah, I've raised that matter before. So, Randy, in deepening democracy, today perhaps it's somebody else. Tomorrow it could be me seeking for information, and one might not say what, because once you refuse to provide the information. So, on that note, they have to give reasons why they cannot within 14 days or so, according to the law. But under this circumstance, it's a draft document under consideration. That only,
but that's what I was playing. The first reason for the interdiction.
Yes.
First reason.
Yes.
Inciting, encouraging the use of threatening language and use of disparaging remarks towards the board of directors. That was the first reason. So that disparaging remarks.
Okay, so you go on. You go on the other reasons. You go on the other reasons. Let's go to the other reasons.
Engaging the media without recourse to management.
Yes.
But the facts don't support that.
But they engage the media without recourse to management.
That they needed management's permission.
To engage the media.
No, yes.
Maybe it's part of their...
collective bargaining agreement.
Please.
But please. No, John.
Maybe the union wants to have a press conference.
And that is where
they are CBA.
They are CBA. They make reference to the CBA.
You should put a list.
No, but...
you can disagree. You can disagree. Please. You can disagree if that is part of the CBA.
Today you think that where you sit. If this thing is done to you, if this is done to you as a minister, a matter is under consideration, and you've made a written submission to management, and they've even told you that the board is in charge of this matter. Then you go ahead and engage the media.
And they wrote to the board.
Yes,
and the board did not even oblige them.
So at
that
material time, you forgone your CBA, and you go public. You leak the draft document.
Why don't we also take on the management and the board?
Taking them
that look, you have no.
You
have a responsibility. No, I'm coming. You have a responsibility.
Randy.
So why don't you engage them and tell them,
Randy,
you're fierce?
Don't they know the document they were leaking was the draft document?
No, just hold on.
They didn't know that.
No, slide.
Please, let's not encourage this in our country.
Slide.
It's like the heads of schools who were charging illegal fees. They were suspended, and people were supporting them.
It is very irresponsible on the part of a board and a management
to do what?
if the staff have written to you
For what?
raising issues about a draft agreement, and you fail to engage them, to tell them exactly what you are saying, that, oh, yes, we have acknowledged these things you have written to us. It is a draft. So we are going to consider all these issues you have raised in coming up with a final document. When the final document is ready, you obviously see it, and you see that some of these things, if everybody agrees, have been incorporated.
So, Randy,
is that not how a responsible board and management must also behave?
So what makes this group responsible by leaking the draft document?
They had no other alternative.
What are you talking about?
When you
Please,
close
please.
all the doors,
What could they have done?
What could they have done?
What could they have done?
Randy,
Yes.
They had no other
Politics
alternative.
aside,
Yes.
in his submission, he credits the AG's department, the AG, for dealing with some of the issues they themselves.
Because he's privy to it.
He's privy to
Yeah,
it.
because that led to the AG
Please,
action.
please.
It's the agitation.
Please.
Okay.
No,
It's the
you don't
agitation
know that
that
for
led
a fact.
to.
You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that for a fact.
I know for a
JJ,
fact.
you don't know
Why?
that for a fact.
Why?
In such agreement, obviously, it would have been referred to the AG for advice.
Yes.
So don't say it is only their agitation that led to this highly insubordination and indiscipline on the part of the group, and it has to be suspended for that matter. I support
But
it.
Sly, my issue is that what stopped the board and the management upon receipt of the letter in telling the association that, look, we have forwarded the thing to
it
AG.
does not also
Hold
give
on,
you
let's
the
get
right to
AG's
do what they
advice.
did.
I don't have a problem.
Yes,
So
so-
you, that's why I raised the issue with JJ about the CBA. So I don't have a right to, I don't have.
So if you are encouraging this kind of things in this country, you become a minister, and this is done to you. How do you feel, JJ?
I don't,
Won't do that in the first
Sly, I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with you raising that issue about.
I agree
staff.
with you. I agree
But
with
the
you.
truth of the matter is that if what they did, you see, if for example they had gone to the media in the first instance, but if they written to the management, at least the management responded to them and said, "This one there, we don't have anything to do with the board." Yes.
When these workers agitated, the special prosecutor
Yes.
took an interest in the matter.
Oh.
Wrote to TOR
Okay.
and told TOR not to proceed.
Okay.
Then quickly,
Yes.
government realizing that the special prosecutor was getting into that arena,
Yes.
they asked the AG to issue its opinion. This is the chronology of events.
Please.
And I have the special prosecutor's letter here.
Okay.
But Randy, are you saying
why?
agreement of this nature will not require the AG's advice?
They did not intend going there.
Please don't say
I'm
that.
on the Mines
Please.
Energy
Oh,
Committee.
please.
Why were they
So
not-
I'm not
So-
sure
so
that
at
day-to-day
So the point you're making is
will come
that
before the
at the time,
committee.
at the time that the staff
Please.
held the press,
He doesn't know that for a fact.
they had not gone to the AG.
No,
the
Randy,
issue of
Randy,
AG
he doesn't
came
know
up
that for a fact.
when
The
the
fact that you
special
have the Mines
prosecutor
Energy
stepped in.
Committee that
Special
doesn't
prosecutor ordered
suspension
suspension
will come
of
before the
proposed
Mines Energy
TOR
Committee.
partnership.
He must stop this.
Special
You know what we are
prosecutor, let me
talking about. Stop this.
Special prosecutor orders
JJ, stop
suspension
this. JJ,
of
stop this.
proposed
Stop
TOR
this.
partnership. After that, the AG then goes on to issue this opinion, making a very, very damning revelation about the TOR agreement. That led to the
Can
cancellation.
he tell us that the AG, out of nothing, no reference, will issue an opinion?
But I'm saying that when government realized,
Oh, what do you mean when
then
government
the
realized?
special prosecutor
What do you mean when
had
government
taken
realized?
it.
What do you mean when
And
government
after
realized?
they should suspend
What do you
it.
mean when government
They
realized?
quickly
Do you
had
know
the
when the
AG
referral was
issue-
made to the AG?
to
You
issue
know when the
the
referral was made to the AG? Oh, please, JJ, stop this. You were once a minister.
Commend them.
You were once
Saving the
commending them for
country.
what? Me, if I was here, I would have done the same thing they have done to them. And they deserve it. They deserve it. Everybody listen. It's not for nothing that if you are privileged to official document by virtue of your partisan position, then you leak the document and he's here praising them.
All right.
If we were done to you, would you have been here praising them?
All
for
right.
that action?
Okay.
Please, stop that.
When they write to us, we'll respond to them.
All right. Okay. So
When I was minister and Occupy Ghana raised issues, immediately we invited them to the office. Occupy Ghana.
Please.
had an interaction
No, but
with them.
Randy, what is not good is not good. We must eschew this from our politics.
So let me
and
ask you
instill
a question.
discipline. Look,
This
you see,
deal,
we are
the
very right.
SMLD.
No, please, the content of the deal. I'm not discussing the
Sorry, I
content of
beg
the
you.
deal.
The SMLD.
The
The SMLD.
we are not
Did you
dis-
go to the AG? The SMLD.
Please.
How different is it from
Please,
the TOR
please,
agreement?
please.
Did you go to the AG?
Please,
No.
please.
Did it go to the AG?
JJ,
No.
JJ. You see, Randy,
What are you talking about?
this issue, we are dealing with a specific matter. You are bringing in other matters here and there. Look, Randy, where I sit.
No, you said
I-
deals go to the AG. And I've given you an
I'm
example
saying
of
that
such a deal.
the AG
And I didn't go to
not,
the AG.
the AG did not profess opinion on the basis of the fact that the matter was in the public domain. A reference was made to the AG for its opinion. It doesn't mean that
By
any
who?
other
By
government.
who?
So,
By who?
do you think the AG
If
just
a referral was going to have been made by somebody, who referred it to the AG?
I don't know that for a fact, but
That
I
is
know.
the point.
But I know that the AG will not
That
profess
is
an
the
advice in a
point.
vacuum. So the AG will never profess an advice in a vacuum.
Something
So what are you talking
created
about?
that necessity.
Oh.
And it's the agitation
JJ.
and the special prosecutors
Granted.
that did
JJ,
so commend them.
Granted that this even led to the board referring this matter to the AG. So long as a deal had not been concluded, it is not in the right of the workers to leak the draft document.
But what prevented
and
the
they think
board
that
from
they are
responding
proud?
to them?
You are urging them.
What
with
prevented
this
the board?
attitude?
What prevented the board? From
Have you read their
responding to the
CBA?
workers?
Have you referred them to their CBA?
What prevented
Please,
the board?
But Sly,
please,
from
you see,
responding
the
to
like
content
if
of
you
the
speak
deal,
about discipline, if you speak
the
about
content,
discipline,
the content
it is also wrong for the board to have acted the way they acted.
morally,
Not
ethically.
Morally.
It is not. It is not. I mean, the board, as it were, is not bound.
Unless the board does
The
not,
board is not
unless the
bound.
board does not consider
The-
the union as a stakeholder.
But what I'm saying,
But if they consider them as key
there are two
stakeholders,
things here. There are two things here.
they are
You
bound.
The
you
issues are
one,
raised.
you are bound.
Number
the
1,
other
2, and
is
3.
not. So please, the one that you are bound not to, you have broken your own
Boss,
CBA.
1,
You have
2,
broken
and
your
3
own
has
oath
nothing to do with
of
CBA.
secrecy. Then you are asking somebody who is not bound by law to tell you on day-to-day basis what they are doing. So you think you
The
can
whistleblowers Act
who is the
supersedes
whistleblower?
the
Who is the whistleblower?
The Whistleblowers Act
You are
supersedes
privileged
the
running.
CBA.
I gave you a
But
single
Sly, I'll tell
example.
you something.
In your management,
Sly, I'll tell you
somebody is
something.
privy to your document,
Sly-
leak it to your opponent.
Sly-
The next moment you say
Sly-
that he's a whistleblower.
Sly, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. If subterfuge
Yes.
is used in the prevention of crime
Okay.
or the exposure
Okay.
of crime, it is allowed. All those subterfuge is considered unethical.
Yes.
If it is deployed for the purposes of prevention of crime or exposure of crime,
Ali,
it is allowed.
You know.
So to the extent
in
that
different situations.
to the extent
in
that
different situations, courts in many jurisdictions have dealt with this same.
No, I'm talking about Ghana. I'm talking about Ghana.
I said the court in different situations are dealt with this same matter and have conferred different judgment on this matter in different situations. But this case, why today, JJ has jumped to their defense. JJ has jumped to their defense.
The courts were going to a certain direction until
Encouraging the use of threatening language.
Yes.
And use of
Why would you
threaten somebody when you are seeking to
towards the board of directors.
But that is wrong.
Why was that?
But why must
did
junior people threaten me?
No, they didn't. I listened. They said that look, as far as they are concerned,
Are
you
you-
use whatever legitimate and legal means to prevent this obnoxious
Oh,
bill
please.
from proceeding.
I'm sure you wrote that letter
Is
for
that-
them.
Oh,